Hi, wherever you may be. Trust you're having a great day today. Recording a video today dealing with as an alternate way to deal with one's life. And I got very lucky about 13 or 14 years ago. Thankfully, the universe intervened, and I found out the hard way that we're not just as a human being, we're here as a human soul. And I volunteered on behalf of the soul, showing up here as a volunteered assignment to go through an experience or other experiences. And then at one point to say thank you very much, and it was time for me to move on. The reason why I'm sharing this, and I'm talking about it, we're no longer in the 3D or the lower base type consciousness energy. We're now elevated into the 5D. That's one thing. So it's a higher frequency, it's a higher energy. Vibrating into the higher energies of love, joy, and peace. So that's a big thing. The 3D, this is where what you see on a day-to-day basis. Things like anger, guilt, shame, grief, sadness, and things are, at one point I had no clue about it. The other part is there's a massive disclosure that's going to be happening at one point to really assist and to awake people that when we show up here, we're not just simply showing up for the sake of living or getting a job or having a family and having kids or working until it's time to retire. I mean, that's an obsolete concept. And I'm sharing this for the main reason that when we show up here, there may be a point in one's life and doing things to doing things to the best of one's ability, and then at one point either getting stuck or hitting a wall, or through an experience in life like a tougher type of an experience, either dealing with grief, loss of a loved one, or pursuing a goal or a dream and then hitting rock bottom, having a really tough time recuperating from it, and having a good intention towards whatever that is, whatever that chief aim is. I'm also sharing this because this year as a 2024 as an 8-year vibration. The 8 vibration, from a numerology perspective, the 8 there is to awaken one's own power with this and being in one's power with this. Now, I've had the awareness from other past lifetimes where I was in a powerful position, and at one point I wound up abusing it. And I've also come to the conclusion that in this lifetime, I came here to experience the other side of it and then simply reclaiming back the power. So what does that refer to? The 8 is also dealing with the karmic energy, meaning any of the negative frequencies, any of the negative energies, or hiding out, self-sabotaging, either as a workaholic, these type of, I want to call them frequencies, energies, or emotions, what they're simply describing is the negative side of that type of vibration. So it's most important being in one's power with this, and then making the conscious decision with being recognized or being seen, and without the fear of being recognized or self-sabotaging one's own success. The major reason for, or the theme of this video here, the importance of it is the universe gives each and every one of us a second opportunity at one point while we're physically here. This is the key word here, while we're physically here, to close the files, meaning whatever was recorded here, whatever was recorded in the subconscious, whatever was recorded energetically in the heart, this is the place where you can empty everything out. It's not like when we leave here, everything disappears. So when I'm saying that, when the universe gave me a second opportunity with this, at one point throughout your life, and like myself as the example, by the time I was in my mid-30s, somewhere from then, or even earlier, till the end of life, normally you meet between 50 to 100 people throughout your life, and some of these people may be as a teacher, as a coach, as a boss, as a healer, somebody of some sort of a substance or an influence, somebody that can assist one saying, if you ask yourself deep on the inside, are you happy? Or deep on the inside, is there something there that you really like to let go of? And if it's something you like to let go of, then the question is, in honoring the free will with saying that, do you want to hold on to it, or would you like to let it go? I mentioned earlier in the video, we're no longer in the 3D type consciousness, we're now elevating to the 5D. So the 5D makes it much, much easier, where you can go in through a guided meditation, and specifically a guided healing meditation. And the moment you have the awareness of saying, hey, I remember that when I got stuck, or there was something from the family, or there was something from either the school ground, or something from work, or something from mom, or something from dad. And it could have been something as simple as showing up with a piece of paper and feeling sad about it. And let's say one of the parents was either having a rough day, or they're coming back from work, they weren't in a happy mood and they just dismissed it. And from that silly experience, instead of going one way, things went going completely in the opposite direction. And whether it was experienced or perceived, many, many years later, one may either feel haunted by it, or in the back of their mind, they're always like, man, what was that type of an experience? So as an alternate way to deal with one's life, instead of drinking away things, or working away with things, or being caught up with life, or chasing the next thing, the major thing is that when we show up here, we're showing up as a volunteer on behalf of the soul. So we're here as a human soul, and what's important with this is having a physical closure of all the 3D type nonsense, whether it's jealousy, whether it's anger, whether it's betrayal, whether it's guilt, shame, or the sadness, or say going through an experience or perception even of like losing a loved one, having a divorce, or whatever it was from a younger age, whether it was dealing with the siblings, a mom or dad, or somebody else that either provided either as a nightmarish type of an experience, that want to become as the initial trigger or the initial boiler point. And when you can go back to that younger age, and technically you can go way deeper with this, or way younger, normally between the ages of 5 to 9, and you can go down to the fetus age. Once you identify it, the awareness, this solves no longer the 80%, but now the 90% of the issue. The other 10% is to go in through a guided meditation and then release it. So when I mentioned there from the universe that when we're given a second chance with this, it's not like we're ever here on our own. And I found this out when I had one of my near-death experiences. It's the soul that's keeping me alive. So the soul has 50% saved while I'm physically here, whether I'm on course or off course. And at any time, if ever I get sick, or if I start deviating from where I need to be going with things, as the soul's invested a lot of time showing up here, the soul does not wish to see this type of this lifetime squandered. And every time when the soul shows up here, and just on a small note here, in the human consciousness, it's one thing being 20, 30, 40, 50, or 70, or 80 years old. The soul itself is ancient. It's millions, billions, or older, and it's human, well, as a human comparison. So the soul, there's a reason why it's showing up here. And when the soul decides to come here, and it's not just the soul, we live in a universe. When we splash into this physical realm, we're coming here to close all of the lower emotions, the lower frequency energies. So it's great tapping into the higher self. What's most important here is, as the disclosure happens, people start finding out that it's not so much with just living a life, but we're here as a spiritual being, and we're coming here to fulfill, either with having one key to the massive puzzle with this, to unlock something that's been hidden or suppressed from the general public for a long time. And bit by bit, the key to getting out of this mess, to get out of the matrix, is to go back inside, meditate, and once you have the awareness of what's going on, then through a guided healing meditation, releasing the entanglements from the family, the culture, the religion, and any of the childhood experiences. And to emphasize with this that there's no judgment, there's no blame with it, and it's simply to have a peaceful closure with this from the past. And more ideally, it's as a peaceful closure with the soul. And when this is done, this is when you start cutting out all the 3D type nonsense, and you say, thank you very much, I did things to the best of my ability. Now having the awareness of, thank you for showing me that, and now I have a new way of looking at things. And once you have that awareness, you still have to take the personal ownership, the personal responsibility, and then the rest of it is, how hungry are you with attaining one's soul journey or soul path of this, and going back home with a clean slate. And that's what was on my mind for today. So thank you very much for your time, and this is attainable for anyone, the second opportunity. So the second opportunity here with the universe is simply an opportunity to close things up from your past and then move on with what you need to be doing with this. So if you have any questions or any concerns, like this video, share this video, get it out there. You can reach me online. Follow the link down below. Thank you for your time for today. Be kind with yourself, treat each other well. Until next time, enjoy your day.